organizations. We donate them to places like Honor Health, Native Connections, and the Phoenix Indian Medical Center. That's just one example of what you can do with 3D printing. Organizations. So now I'm going to talk about 3D modeling. So 3D modeling is the very first step in 3D printing. It's where you create that object digitally and get it prepared for printing. So right there on the screen, you see the program we use. It's called Tinkercad, and it's a free online program. Anyone can create an account. All you need to access it is a computer and internet connection. And not even a computer, it works on iPads and other kinds of tablets as well. And so you'll see here's the object I showed you earlier, the read sign. And here's the physical object that we printed after we created this digital model. So once you've designed your digital model, the next step is to transfer it to the printer. And we do that with USB drive. So we've saved the file on this USB drive. And go ahead and follow me, and I'll show you the next steps in this process. So this is the main area of our MACH1 makerspace. We do lots of different things here, but as you can see right now, we're in the middle of a project. We're putting together our March MACH1 to-go bags. These are bags that anyone can pick up at any of our libraries. They are a selection of about 8 STEAM projects, and we have 2 different bags, one for ages 4 to 7 and one for ages 8 to 12. And those are available at any of our Phoenix Public Library branches during curbside hours. Right now you can pick up the February bags, and in a couple weeks you'll be able to pick up the March bag. Once you picked up your bag, go ahead and join us online for Hacker Haven. Every Saturday at 2:30 p.m. we meet online with our participants, and we build one of the projects from the MACH1 to-go bags. All right, so come on in. Here's our printer lab. It's a little bit loud in here because all the printers are going. The next step in the process is we're going to take our USB drive, put it in the computer here, and we're going to run it through a program that's called a slicer. So what the slicer does is it takes the digital model that you created and it cuts it into layers. It slices it into layers, and it adds the information that the specific printer brand needs to print the model. Things like how the printhead should move and what temperature the printhead needs to be at. Once we've sliced our design, we take it over to the printer and we add the USB drive to the printer, find our file, and then we hit build. Once we hit build, the printer is going to take a few minutes to heat up. Looks like this one's already preheated to the 220 degree temperature, and then it's going to start printing. So what we're printing right here is that same read model that I showed you earlier. So like I said, we have a few different brands of printers here, and they all pretty much work the same way. Our printers use a process called FDM, or Fused Deposition Modeling. That just means they print up the objects layer by layer. And you'll see that here. They do one layer, put the material down, and then they go back to start and they do a second layer. And so on until the object is all the way built up. So our printers use a plastic filament that's called PLA, or polylactic acid. It's a biodegradable plastic, and it's made from things like cornstarch. As our printers are printing, the hot end, that's where the melted plastic comes out, can get up to 220 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to bake a pizza or some cookies in your oven. So it gets pretty hot, and you definitely don't want to put your fingers in there. All right, so if you want to know more about how you can take one of our 3D modeling classes, make sure that you visit our website, phoenixpubliclibrary.org, click on online programs, and then search for 3D modeling. Do you guys have any questions for me? take a little bit of time. Some of the models we have here will take 4 or 5 hours to print. We do have another tour at 4 p.m. if you want to come back and see the progress on some of these things that are printing. In this printer over here, we are printing a castle. So you can see just the base of that castle has been printed.
That's super cool. Hey, Lori, it's Kelly. I'm looking at some questions in the chat box. What is your favorite part of the lab?
So I really like it when the printers have issues and I have to take them apart and figure out what's wrong with them and put them back together. I find that really fun. I like to take things apart and make them work again.
Oh, that's awesome. Jeff wanted to know, how long does it take to print something? So I guess it depends on the size, right?
Yeah, it really depends on how big the object is. We have some really small projects like these MACH1 coins that take about 5 minutes to print. And then a big object like this castle right here could take 7 or 8 hours to print. So it really just depends on how big the object is and how dense you're making the infill, which is the part inside of the project.
Trey wanted to know, what's the most interesting thing you've printed?
I really like to print things that are useful, that I can use in some other way. We've recently printed these little holders back here. Someone else designed them, but we found them online and they're compatible with this type of printer. And it just holds the spool of filament and feeds it through to the printer. I've also been working on my own design for an accessory for my Nintendo Switch. I do some streaming online with video games, and I was trying to make a little holder that would hold my capture card and attach it to the back of my Nintendo Switch. So, I mean, you can really, anything you think of, you can design it and create it.
That's awesome. Amelia was wondering, how many colors can you print with at one time?
So it depends on the printer. Most of our printers only print in one color. This printer over here, where we're printing the dragon, it does print in 2 different colors. But right now we're just printing a 1-color dragon. To print in multiple colors, you have to create multiple pieces. So like if we wanted the dragon to be 2 colors, we'd have to create 2 different models. One with the part we wanted green, and another model with just the parts we wanted that second color. What a lot of people do with 3D printing is they print in just 1 color and then they use paint. You can paint these with standard acrylic paint to add color and more life to their design.
That's awesome. Mike said that he saw a model of Arizona among your products. Can you superimpose a TIFF message on your products? Because he asked, because he has a high-res TIFF of the geology of Arizona.
So I'm not 100% sure what you're asking. So if you have, you're asking, I think, if you have a TIFF of an object, could you turn that into something that could be 3D printed? Is that correct?
That's what I think I'm reading.
Yeah, so that's going to be based on the limitations of the 3D modeling software that you're using. For example, Tinkercad, which is what we use, it will import SVGs, STL files, which are the 3D printed models, but I don't think it imports TIFF files. So you would need to find a converter that would convert your TIFF file into the format that your CAD software, like Tinkercad, would use. And there's a lot of different CAD softwares out there because most of our classes are for ages 8 to 17. We use Tinkercad because it's a really easy, low point of entry to get into. But there are a lot of more complex software out there that may be able to deal with a TIFF file. So it would be a little bit of research.
Yeah, and to Mike, maybe I can connect you with the CEO of PADT. They have all of the newest technology in 3D printing. They are a company here in Tempe. They would love to maybe show you around if you're interested in more information on 3D printing. Excellent. Lori, we have another picture from Trey. Can you use multicolored plastic?
I'm sorry, I missed that.
He asked, can you use multicolored plastic?
Yes, so there is some filament available that you can buy that is multicolored, like that multicolored yarn that you can buy. It just has different colors built into the same roll of plastic, and you don't have a lot of control over where the colors end up. But that is possible. You can buy plastic that comes in variegated or multicolored rolls.
We had a question about how do they get connected with the library to get the goodie bags or the take bags?
So if you're interested in picking up one of the MACH1 to go bags, they are available at any of our branches during curbside hours. So you can just stop by, just like you were picking up your holds, and call the number and let them know you want a MACH1 to go bag and for what ages, and they'll bring those out to you. Our branches are open for curbside Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to noon. And then again in the afternoons on just Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 3:30 to 5:30.
Another question, what was one of the coolest things you printed?
Everything that I print is really cool. I think I really like this T-Rex skull over here. This is a pretty cool project.
Oh, that is cool. We have dino teeth with the Arizona Museum of Natural History. That'd be perfect for.
And there, in addition to creating your own things in Tinkercad, there's a lot of sources online where creators have uploaded their own designs that you're able to print. And this T-Rex skull is one of those designs that we were able to find online and print out because we thought it was really cool.
Yeah, we agree. All right, if anybody has any other questions, please post them in the chat box. But big shout out to Lori and her team at MACH1 for being a huge supporter of the 10th season of the Arizona SciTech Festival. We've gone virtual and they have helped us out with lots of great activities and events. I think we have a few more on the calendar. We have another tour later today, correct?
Yeah, we have another tour today at 4. So if you want to see the progress of some of these things that are printing, come on back. And then we have another event next week. We have an event, a coding event for elementary age students. And that's on the 17th.
Yeah, we appreciate you so much. And thank you for giving us a quick tour of the 3D printing lab and the incredible makerspace you have there at MACH1. To all of you watching, tune back in. We have more live tours today. Thanks, Lori.
Thank you. Bye-bye.